The story begins with a memory, a vision of a life that was. We see a young fawn, Bambi, living a peaceful existence in the forest with his mother. This idyllic world is shattered by the deafening crack of a hunter's rifle, an act of greed that leaves Bambi an orphan. He survives, grows, and even finds a new family with a doe, raising a fawn of his own. But the cycle of tragedy is not yet complete. A truck from a local company, Webecker Pharmaceuticals, loses control, striking and killing the doe while leaking barrels of glowing toxic waste into the wilderness. In the ensuing panic, Bambi's young offspring vanishes. Alone and consumed by a grief he has known before, Bambi drinks from the poisoned river. The chemicals and his bottomless rage ignite an unholy transformation, twisting his body into a hulking, ravenous creature with a singular purpose: vengeance. Our focus shifts to the present. A young woman, Xana, is in a taxi with her son, Benji. The atmosphere is thick with disappointment. Benji's father, Simon, has cancelled on them, blaming work for his absence at an important family gathering. As they travel down a lonely forest road, a monstrous stag erupts from the darkness. It doesn't just hit the car, it unmade it, tossing the 2-ton vehicle aside like a toy. Xana and Benji, buffered in the back seat, are spared the worst of the impact, but the driver is trapped by the mangled frame. The creature isn't finished. It stomps on the car, its heavy hooves crushing the metal. With a pained apology to the doomed driver, Xana pulls her son from the wreck. From a distance, they watch in horror as the mutated Bambi stands atop the car and lets out a roar, its mouth a grotesque snarl of sharp fangs. Meanwhile, at the edge of the forest, Benji's grandmother, Mary, wanders in a white nightgown, her mind lost to dementia. She murmurs Bambi's name, her fractured mind seeming to hold glimpses of the future, watching unseen as her family is hunted. At her nearby home, the family awaits their arrival. Benji's uncle, Andrew, prepares dinner while his aunt, Harriet, complains about the absent Simon. Their conversation reveals a house of dysfunction. The phone lines are cut because Mary's dementia causes her to make false police reports. Just as Harriet brings Mary back inside, Xana and Benji burst through the door, terrified and breathless. As Xana recounts her story, a debate breaks out. Andrew argues for caution, wanting to wait for morning. His brother, Joshua, horrified at the thought of leaving the driver to die, grabs his coat and heads out to find a signal for help. At the same time, 3 bounty hunters hired by Webecker Pharmaceuticals are combing the woods. They find the wrecked taxi and, assuming its occupants were attacked, decide to follow the tracks to find their monstrous prize. But in the pitch-black forest, one of the hunters, Tyler, mistakes Joshua for the creature and shoots him dead. Back at the house, the night descends into terror. Mary sits, frantically sketching in a notebook, page after page of a giant, demonic stag. Benji watches, disturbed by how much the drawings resemble the monster that attacked them. As Mary stares out the window, the lights outside flicker and a dead bird thuds against the glass. Benji cries out for his mother just as Bambi smashes through the window and storms into the living room. The family screams and scatters. Harriet scrambles into a kitchen cabinet, only to feel a warm liquid dripping on her head. She looks up to see Bambi's fang maw drooling above her. She screams and flees to the bathroom, but the creature is intelligent, using its hoof to pry the door open. In a desperate scramble, she squeezes through the small bathroom window just as Bambi's antlers strike her. Xana and the others rush Mary into an old RV, but the engine won't start. Just then, Harriet's deadly chase comes into view. She can't outrun the beast. Her life is brutally bisected by the creature's antlers. At that exact moment, the RV's engine roars to life. Bambi abandons Harriet's corpse and gives chase. Its speed is unnatural. It rams the back of the RV as Harrison futilely throws rocks from the window. The creature is relentless, running alongside them until Andrew, with Xana's help, finally forces the stuck gear shift. The old vehicle lurches forward, finally pulling away. Their escape is short-lived. A massive log, a deliberate trap, blocks the road. As they get out to move it, Bambi's roar echoes from the darkness. A terrified Benji slams his foot on the gas. The rope used to move the log is still tangled around Andrew's leg, and he is dragged to a gruesome death against the rough asphalt. Harrison, left behind, flees into the woods. He trips and falls face first into a pile of dung, the stench so foul that the approaching Bambi, sniffing him, deems him spoiled meat and leaves. But Harrison's relief is brief. He is swarmed by a pack of smaller monsters, mutated, fanged rabbits that were also born from the toxic waste. Stumbling backward in terror, he steps into a hunter's steel trap that snaps shut, breaking him. The rabbits descend, and his screams fade into the night. The RV eventually runs out of gas. Xana makes the horrifying discovery of what's left of Andrew's body. Mary, in a moment of strange lucidity, wanders off into the woods, muttering, "Death, death." Xana pulls her back just as Benji lights a flare, revealing that the ground is littered with bones. They are in Bambi's lair. Fleeing back to the road, they are rescued by the lead hunter, Michael, who takes them to his team's den. The man who steps from the shadows is no stranger, it's Benji's father, Simon. The truth, however, is far more sinister than a simple bounty hunt. Simon is a key figure at Webecker. He's not here to hunt a monster, he's here to erase evidence of his corporate crimes. While Xana confronts Simon over his monstrous betrayal, Benji discovers Bambi's missing fawn, caged and being abused by the other two hunters, Tyler and Eddie. He feels an immediate connection to the terrified animal. The hunters then take the fawn into the woods to use as bait. But Bambi is the superior hunter. He finds Tyler and decapitates him, then ambushes Eddie in his car, ripping him apart. Filled with a sense of justice, Benji sneaks out and frees the fawn. His action is discovered by Michael, who rushes out in a rage. Xana, searching for her son, stumbles upon the mercenaries' hidden collection of bodies, including Joshua's. The horror of the situation is absolute. At that moment, Bambi breaks into the base and corners the motionless Mary. The female hunter, Jo, makes a heroic last stand, shooting a nearby gas tank and engulfing the area in a massive fireball to give the others a chance to escape. In the fiery chaos, Xana and Benji are reunited, only to be cornered by Michael, who demands the fawn at gunpoint. But the explosion didn't kill Bambi. Still burning, it charges from the flames, grabs Michael, and drags him into the forest. Simon, seeing his chance, abandons his family and makes a run for it with the only satellite phone. Bambi returns, its eyes locked on the fawn in Benji's arms. Xana understands. She gently places the fawn on the ground. The monster calms, its rage momentarily quelled by parental instinct. But a bloodied Michael crawls back and fires his rifle, striking Bambi in the stomach. As the great creature falls, another shot rings out. Grandma Mary, her mind suddenly lucid, stands holding a shotgun over Michael's now dead body. Simon's escape is also cut short. A mutated rabbit appears in his car, and his reign of terror ends with a final, pathetic scream. The film concludes in a quiet, tragic tableau. Bambi, the monster born of grief and poison, bleeds out and dies in front of Xana, Benji, and his own, now orphaned, child. The reckoning is complete, leaving only survivors to reckon with the cost.